last chance saloon over in the Europa Conference League, as of course the likes of Leicester City, Bodø, Glimt and Roma, of course, edging closer to the knockout stage. But who will actually go the distance? We'll take a look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, back once again with a prediction video today. We look forward to the last 16 second legs in the first ever Europa Conference League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new where you've been, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, smash the old subscribe button to get your bag of day. All things Conference League related, Rovers League related, everything else related in the world. We got to hear, boys, under one brewski. That's right, of course. Yes, Roma edging closer, Leicester City edging closer as well to the knockout stage. But who will join them? Or will they actually make it themselves? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They're patrons, guys. Thank you for loving, of course, behind the scenes. If you want to help us out in another way, check out that link down below, patreon.com/overseas. But anyway, what we're going to do now is revisit the results. Of course, check out your picks, my picks, and of course, the results as well. So here they come. Of the 16 clubs that made the old last 16, kick it all off with Partizan Belgrade. They took on Feyenoord, Partizan. They took on Roma, PSV and Copenhagen locked horns. Leicester City were hosting Rennes this past week, midweek. Slavia Praha against LASK from Austria. PAOK also from, they're from Greece, up against Gent. Marseille, Basel, and of course, Bodø Glimt against AZ Alkmaar. Those were the fixtures, so let's get into the results. Of course, kick it all off with the top of the shop there. Partizan Belgrade, they took on Feyenoord, and it was a 1-1 draw was my pick. Of course, comfortable win in the end for Feyenoord, 5-2 in the end. One step already through to the next stage, you would imagine. Vitesse Eindhoven, they locked horns with Mourinho's boys. 1-0 was my pick. 1-0 it was in the end, so not too shabby on that one. Kicking off for PSV against Copenhagen. Had all the goals, didn't they? 8 of them in total. 2-0 was my pick in favour of PSV, but I was wrong as well. Leicester City against Rennes. 2-0 was my pick at the King Power, and 2-0 it was. So happy dappy do on that one. Meanwhile, kicking off for Slavia Prague against LASK. I went with the 2-1 win for Slavia Prague, but it ended up as a 4-1 win for Slavia Prague. Again, looking comfortable to get through to the knockout stages, or even deeper into the bracket, we should say. PAOK against, of course, Gent. 1-1 draw in the end. 1-0 win it was for PAOK, of course, from Greece. Looking likely that they would make the later stages. Perhaps, of course, got to do the reverse fixture over in Belgium first. Marseille, of course, Basel. 2-0 was my pick. 2-1 it was in the end. And Bodø Glimt, the surprise packages throughout this tournament. Of course, 2-0 was my pick. 2-1 it was in the end. They, of course, are in the driving seat for the time being. Let's count them up for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5, which is pretty good out of 8. Not too shabby. What about you guys then? 5 out of 8 gets me 6 spots. It's not great, is it really? 7 bins, of course, to Peggy and Shane O'Donnell picking up 7 out of 8 there. Pretty good. Pretty impressive stuff there. And of course, that will add to the tally over in the master leaderboard, which is coming at you right here, right now. There you have it. Shane O'Donnell, 72 points on the board. 69, dudes. That's Hans Worst. And Bianca Muller is up there in third in the tier. But a big shout out to my patrons, of course, kicking ass and taking names. Well done, you guys, of course. If you want to help us out, check out that link down below, patreon.com/overseas. But anyway, this is the link that you need to get involved with the next round of predictions. It's free, it's fun. Click, 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 click. That's all you got to do, and it's a piece of piss. So get in amongst it. So these are the reverse fixtures now. They flip-flopped, of course, and we're now getting the deep end and look forward to the next round match. To kick it all off with the Dutchies. That's right. Here's Feyenoord up against Partizan Belgrade, or are we? I'm trying to find it at the moment for whatever reason. I can't see the data, but we'll get there. Don't worry. They think they're smart, these guys, but they're not smart enough. I've got it covered. Where are you? Conference bloody league. There you are, right at the bottom there. They think they have me. They think they have me, but they don't. They don't have me. All right, we're gonna have to do it a little bit of a hinky way of doing stuff. So I have to type it in. I'm going to have to type it in. Feyenoord. Let's get into the deep end. Taking on, of course, Partizan Belgrade. Let's get into it. So here we go. A schedule to take place, of course, on the 17th of March. Of course, venue to be decided. Of course, Feyenoord up against Partizan Belgrade in the round of 16 second leg. Coming at you. They played each other 2 times in 2004, 1 win apiece, and 0 draws. Feyenoord, though, coming to this on the back of 75% form. Just 1 defeat past 6 for them. Of course, up against the Partizan Belgrade side, of course, 2 wins, 2 defeats at the past 4 games. 67% form for them. At the moment, of course, last time around, though, it was a 5-2 win for Feyenoord. It was over in Belgrade. And, of course, Feyenoord coming to this on the back of back-to-back games now without a loss. Of course, a draw over in Dutchland as they picked up a 1-1 draw against Groningen, of course, prior to this match. Kicking on forward, though, they'll be taking on Zwolle this weekend, and they're expected to win that one quite comfortably. As for their opposition, Partizan Belgrade, of course, coming to this on back-to-back wins prior to the defeat against Feyenoord. They do come up against Nara Pentendek, of course, in the Superliga over in the domestic countries on this one. I've got basic odds on this one. Basic odds go in favour of Feyenoord. They are your favourites on this one to take the W. And, of course, course, Feyenoord and Partizan Belgrade are both expected to win their games domestically as well. So what do we got on of course, this one? I'm going to go with a cheeky a 2-0 win in the FF final, which will be comfortably enough to go through 7-2 in the end to into the last 8 and a little bit closer to glory once again. Kicking off forward, though, we have Roma. Of course, they're going to be taking on against Vitesse now, of course, over in Italy. Let's get into the deep end on this one. Of course, now these two sides, of course, just played each other quite recently. Just 1-1 for Roma over the course of time. Of course, Roma, though, unbeaten in the last 5, picking up 3 wins and 2 draws, 3 wins on the bounce as well. Against the Vitesse side, just 2 wins in the past 6 games, 42% form for them at the moment. Of course, it was a 1-0 win last time around in the Dutchlands. Of course, this time around, though, Roma will be looking to make it 4 clean sheets on the bounce. So after clean sheets against Spezia, Atalanta, and now Vitesse Arnhem, of course, taking a place this weekend. It'll be Udinese on the road, and Roma are anticipated to win that game as well. As for Vitesse, they're going to be taking on Hercules Almelo, and again, they're anticipated they might lose this one. Of course, Hercules Almelo are slight favourites, but of course, coming into this on the back of back-to-back wins over in the Dutchlands in, of course, domestic action there. So they'll look forward to this one, I am sure. As for the odds for this one, got basic odds for this. Roma are your favourites for this one. Of course they are. They'll take the W on this one. Vitesse are your underdogs on this one. What about the grand old scheme of things here, though? I'm going to go with the 2-0 win for Roma, which of course will be 3-0 on aggregate. They'll go through. Vitesse will go home. Kicking it forward, of course, last time around between these two sides, the PSV and Copenhagen, it was 8-goal thriller, 4-4 in the end. Will we have just as much glory this time around, or will we be a little bit hard done by with the goals? Have they all dried up? Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Have all the goals gone on this one? Where the heck is it? Where is PSV? There they are. Of course, now these two sides are scheduled to take place over in Denmark. Now they've played each other 3 times in 2009. Nothing for Copenhagen, 1 for PSV, and 2 draws, of course. PSV, though, coming to 83% form, unbeaten in the last 9 games, picking up 3 wins in the last 4. Up against the Copenhagen side, unbeaten in the last 5, 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time they played each other in the Denmark, it was a 1-1 draw back in November 2009. Of course, 4-4 last time round. And of course, last time either side won was back in October 2009. That was over in Eindhoven. Kicking on forward, though, PSV coming to on the back of a 3-1 win over Hercules Almelo. Now the 4-4 draw, of course, this weekend. They're taking on Utrecht in the Eredivisie on the shade of Eredivisie. As for the Danish, of course, Copenhagen, prior to the game against our PSV, they picked up 3 clean sheets on the bounce against Odense, Viborg, and Randers. They'll take a Midtjylland this weekend, and again, a game where they're probably expected to lose, but only narrowly on this one. The odds for this game, though, go in favour of our PSV. They are the favourites to win this game in the 90 minutes, but will it be enough for them to go through in the end? A win either way will, of course, do it. I've gone with a 2-2 draw, which will mean 6-6 in the end, and I think Copenhagen will nick it on penalties and send PSV Eindhoven crashing out. Kicking off forward, though, Rennes. They'll lock horns up against Leicester City, this time over in La France. Of course, big chance for both of these two sides to get a bit of silverware, you would imagine, of course. And it's also scheduled to take place on the 17th of March over in Rennes. Now, these two sides have played each other just the one time. It was the reverse fixture. Of course, Rennes, though, picking up 2 defeats in the past 6 games, 67% form up against the Leicester side, who, of course, just lost 1 to the past 6, 83% form for them, winning 4 in the bounce, of course. Meanwhile, Leicester City picked up a 2-0 win last round at the King Power. They come to this on the back of a back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, 3 clean sheets on the spin for Leicester City, and of course 4 wins on the bounce. Beating the likes of Randers, of course, Burnley, Leeds United, and now Rennes. Of course, Rennes coming to this on the back of 3 wins on the bounce over in La France, of course, and they'll look to get back to winning ways this weekend when they take on Lyon, of course. They anticipate to lose that one, though. Lyon are your favourite scores. As for Leicester, they'll take on Arsenal down London way, and of course, they're anticipated to both lose these games. Of course, as for this midweek game, of course, next week, Rennes are expected to win this one. Leicester are expected to lose. Quite tight on this one. Can they turn around the 2-goal deficit? I don't think so. I think it's going to be 2-1 in the end, which of course will be enough for Leicester to go through. 3-2 in the end on aggregate. Kicking on forward, we have LASK up against Slavia Prague. Let's get into the deep end. Of course, it's Austria up against the Czech Republic. Do I have it? Yes, I do, of course. We'll get in the deep end on this one. Of course, Slavia Prague, get at it. Of course, now these two sides play each other just the one time since 2022. Of course, it was the reverse fixture. I want to elaborate on that in a minute. Of course, LASK, though, coming to just 1 win and 6 for them, 33% form, and all competitions, all venues. And of course, they need to get back to winning ways and fast. As for Slavia Prague, they've won 7 games on the bounce, or 100% form for them at the moment. Of course, 4-1 win it was last round. Of course, probably already through to the last 8, you would imagine. Of course, that was over in Prague. Meanwhile, of course, LASK coming to this on the without a win in 3, and just scored the 1 goal in the last 3. Of course, drawing with Salzburg, drawing with losing to Wolfsburg, and also losing to Slavia Prague. As for Slavia Prague, they come to this on like I said, 7, not like I said, but like I said, 7 wins on the bounce. Of course, back to back. Not back to back, nothing. But 5-1 win over Kravarevic, and Sparta Prague picked up a 2-0 win over them. Of course, this weekend they're taking on Slovan Liberec. Expected to win that one. LASK taking on Tirol over in the Austrian Bundesliga as well. As for the odds for this game, quite tight. It's actually even Stevens across the odds. Could go either way, very, very much so. But, of course, the game is probably already over from the first leg. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for LASK. They'll take it for this one, but, of course, not enough to get through. 4-3 in the end. Praha will go through to join the likes of Feyenoord, Roma, Copenhagen, and, of course, Leicester City. Kicking off forward, though, is Gent. That's KAA, Gent, up against PAOK. Will we get into the deep end on this one? Yes, over in Belgium, the Europa League, against the Super League of Greece. Now, of course, these two sides have played each other 3 times in 2017, 1 win apiece and 1 draw. Of course, Gent coming to this just 1 defeat past 6, 83% form for them. Up against the PAOK side, unbeaten in the last 6 games, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws, 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round though, it was in PAOK, it was a 1-0 win. That was, of course, back in just the other day. They have played each other a couple of other times in friendlies. They don't really count, do they? Really, they don't really count. As for, of course, Gent, they come to this on the back of prior to the game against PAOK, they picked up quite a few wins on the spin. In fact, just 1 goal conceded out of the last 5 games prior to the loss against PAOK. As for PAOK, they picked up, of course, wins over Lamia, of course, draws against Athens and Ayakos Nikikia, of course, but they're looking to extend their unbeaten run this weekend, or this week. Well, this weekend, firstly, they're going to be taking on Giannana, and they're expected to win that one. As for Gent, they're also expected to win over Beerschot, over in the Juniper League as well. But, of course, as for the game itself, this one, of course, which will take place over in Belgium, the odds go in favour of Gent. They are expected to win this one, but will it be enough to get through in the end? I've gone with a 2-1 win for Gent, which, of course, will be not enough for me in my eyes. It will be 2-2 on aggregate. It will go penalties, it will go the distance. PAOK will take it in the end, and they will join, of course, LASK. No, not LASK. They'll join Slavia Prague and the rest in the next round. Kicking off, was Basel up against Marseille. Of course, the Switzerland up against, of course, the south of France. Where are we? Basel. Let's get into the deep end on this one now. Of course, also scheduled to take place on that same week. If we can get there. Where is bloody... It's O-M, Marseille? Marseille, there we are. There we are. I found it. Of course, now these two sides play just the one-time situation too. Of course, it was the reverse fixture. And of course, Basel coming to this, just 1 win in 4 games for them, 42% form for them at the moment. As for Marseille, just 1 win in 1 defeat past 4 for them, 58% form. Of course, and the reverse fixture was a 2-1 win over in Marseille. That was just the other day. Of course, Basel picking up, of course, just 1 win in 4. That 1 win was against Lugano. Of course, this weekend they will take on Servette. Of course, over in the Swiss Superliga there. Of course, they're expected to win that game as well. Marseille, though, coming to this on the back of a loss against Monaco. I mean, I actually picked up back-to-back losses over, or back-to-back games without a win over in Ligue 1. Of course, expected. In fact, hold the bloody phone there. They haven't won in the last 3 games domestically, so of course they'll look to change that and take on Brest this weekend. They are expected to win that game. They are favoured for that game over Brest, but of course this game itself over in Switzerland, of course, is expected to go with Marseille as well. Their bookies have it on this one, but me, I think it's going to go the other way on the day of 2-2 in the end, of course, which will still be enough for Marseille to go through 4-3 on aggregate. Again, joining the likes of PAOK, Prague, Leicester City, Copenhagen, Roma, and of course a final. And then wrap it up. It is of course a bit of a zinger at the end. It is AZ Alkmaar, of course, taking on the surprise package. They've been causing chaos all through this competition, and they'll look forward to continuing doing that maybe in the next stages, of course. Picture just the one time, of course. This time it's over in the Dutchlands though, and AZ Alkmaar just 1 win in the last 3 games, 67% form. I think it's Bodø Glimt side who haven't lost in the last 32 games. Wow, that's a stat and a half, winning 5 of the bounce as well. Of course, the reverse fixture over in Norway was a 2-1 win for Bodø Glimt, and of course heading into this game, their only focus right now is the Europa Conference League. The next match is AZ Alkmaar, and of course they've got a lot of rest time to look forward to this game, and of course we'll fancy the chances. As for AZ Alkmaar, they've got other stuff on the agenda, taking on my boys over in the Dutchlands FC 20, where they're expected to win that game. Of course they are favoured, and they are expected to win this game over against Bodø Glimt in the end. But will it be enough for them to go through to the knockout stages or deeper into the competition? We'll see. But for me, I'm going to let you know, I'm actually going to back a 2-2 draw again on this one, which of course will be a bit of an upset. Got quite a lot of 2-2 draws knocking around. 4-3 in the end. Bodø Glimt go through. See you later, alligator. AZ Alkmaar are going home. That's, of course, my pick for it. So, in my eyes, Bodø Glimt, of course, Marseille, PAOK, Slavia Prague, Leicester City, Copenhagen, Roma, and final will be the 8 teams that will go through to the knockout stages. And of course, we'll fancy the chances to go the distance on this one. I'm going to try and see if I can get Europa League odds on this. Can I get Europa League odds or Conference League odds? Oh, finally they're bloody there. They weren't there a second ago. So this is the reverse fixtures then. Of course, before we do that, make sure you be sure to check out the link @ECL picks. Get your pickaroos in there so you can get your name in lights next time around. And of course, before we wrap wrap it up, quick look at the reverse odds. Belgrade 66-1 to go the distance, lift the trophy at the end of it. Of course, Lasic 50-1, of course. Then we have PAOK 33-1, same could be said for Vitesse and Gent. Moving forward, 28-1 is your Copenhagen, 20-1 is your Slavia Prague, 20-1 is your Basel, 20-1 is your AZ Alkmaar, 14-1 is your PSV, 14-1 is also your Rennes. But Glimt are 2-1, of course. While we were their fifth favourites, final 8-1. Roma 11-2. They're into the final two. We have Marseille 5-1 and Leicester City, of course, 7-2 to go the distance and become the first ever Europa Conference League champions. That's it, of course, guys. Be sure to give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. I'll see you soon, of course, for the next one, which will be the quarterfinals. It will be the first legs. It'll be after the international break. But until then, guys, we're done here. We're done now. See you later. Be safe. Until then, we're done.